What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out some brand new Dark Magician support that just got revealed coming out of the OCG's Duelist Pack 23. It appears that main protagonist might be the theme of the next Duelist Pack slash Legendary Duelist in the TCG. I know a lot of people were wondering where Konami was going to go. Some people thought that it might be like the rivals of the main characters, but if I was going to guess, considering Yugi, Dark Magician, and Dark Magician Girl are on the cover of the booster pack, I'm thinking that it's going to be main protagonist. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Dark Magician Girl on the cover of the pack, I was like, oh lord, these cards are gonna be terrible. They're gonna revolve around Dark Magician Girl, and they actually do. All three cards that have been revealed revolve around Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, but surprisingly, they're actually quite good. So let's go ahead and break them down. We'll start talking about the fusion monster first. You guys know Dark Magician and fusions go hand in hand. This is Dark Magicians, the Ultimate Wizards. This is a level 8 Dark Spellcaster monster, 2800 attack and 2300 defense. Your materials to summon this are a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl plus 1 Spellcaster monster. Your first effect says once per turn, if a spell slash trap or effect is activated, quick effect, you can draw 1 card. If it is a spell slash trap, you can set it on your field. If it is a quick play spell or trap card, you can activate it in the turn it was set. Second effect, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So it seems right from the jump that Konami is trying to make Dark Magician Girl more a part of the Dark Magician strategy. I've never really ran Dark Magician Girl in any of my Dark Magician builds, even though Konami has kind of focused more and more on her. It just never felt like it was worth it. But now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to kind of get there. First off, I love the summoning conditions of this card. It lets you use Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, whichever you have access to, and it also works with a Spellcaster monster. It doesn't use some weird, stupid type like Warrior or Dragon, something that the archetype traditionally is not going to summon. It uses a Spellcaster monster, which all the monsters are Spellcasters, so for like the first time in a long time, the materials of a Dark Magician fusion just make sense. And then I like the effect of being able to draw a card. That's a quick effect. It works on either player's turn. Let's be real, if you summon this card, what are the odds of your opponent going through their entire turn without activating a spell trap or a spell trap effect? It just doesn't happen in 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! So your opponent is going to have to give you that draw, or you can just use it during your turn and guarantee yourself a draw. And I really like that during your opponent's turn, if you draw a spell, a quick play spell, or even a trap card like Eternal Soul, you can set that card and activate it immediately. The second effect also pretty nice. If the card is destroyed, it summons Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician basically from anywhere. You just have to be running that 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl, and as long as it isn't banished, you're going to be able to resolve that effect. So overall, I think that this card is actually pretty legitimate. I could easily see you getting 2 draws out of this card. Summon it during your turn, activate something, draw a card. Then your opponent probably gonna use a spell and trap, draw another card, and floating upon destruction, also very legitimate. We have a new level 1 monster for Dark Magician. This is Magician Souls. It's a level 1 Dark Spellcaster monster, 0 attack and 0 defense. It says that you have a hard once per turn on both of the effects, and they're very powerful effects. First effect, if this card is in your hand, you can send 1 level 6 or higher spellcaster from your deck to the graveyard, then activate one of these effects. You either get to special summon this card, or you can send this card to the graveyard, then you can special summon 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard. Second effect, you can send up to 2 spell slash traps in your hand or field to the graveyard. That's a cost. Draw that many cards. Okay, this card is absolutely fucking nuts for Dark Magician. And this is a huge consistency boost for the archetype. Number 1, the fact that this card essentially can just summon Dark Magician straight from your deck by discarding itself. I'm cutting out a couple of steps, of course, where it hits the graveyard, you summon it from the graveyard, but the fact that you can just discard this card, summon Dark Magician straight from your deck without using your normal summon is amazing. Like, that is a huge consistency boost to Dark Magician, and you can even technically normal summon this card, not really really great stat line, but the fact that it can just discard spells and traps out of your hand to draw cards is also amazing. Dark Magician, a lot of the way that the deck kind of works is usually after like turn 2 or so, a lot of the spells and traps are really not that good, or some of them, if you resolve it once, like you don't really need to use them again. Think of something like Dark Magical Circle. Once you have it on the field, all the other copies in your deck are basically dead. Being able to discard that, or if you already have Dark Magician, getting rid of like an illusion magic in your hand, not even having to activate something like Magician's Navigation, just send it to the graveyard to get the negation effect online during the next turn, and being able to draw cards in the process seems amazing. And then of course this card does also technically work with Dark Magician Girl, so I think that that's kind of cool. Overall, I really love this card. I feel like it's a huge consistency boost for Dark Magician, and now Dark Magician is just going to open up with much better and consistent openings. Again, the fact that this card can special summon Dark Magician without using your normal turn 0 is absolutely amazing. Maybe things like Pot of Duality might not be feasible in the deck anymore, but that's a small price to pay for such an excellent card. Lastly is a new Dark Magician continuous trap card, which they've really only had one, that being Eternal Soul. This is Magician's Combination. It's a continuous trap card that says, first effect, once per turn when a card or effect is activated, you contribute 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, that's a cost. Special summon 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl with a different name than the attributed monster from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, negate that effect. Number 2, if this face-up card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card on the field. This card is again just quite excellent for Dark Magician. One of the biggest things that Dark Magician has always historically struggled with is disruption. We all know that Dark Magician has Dark Magical Circle, and you have a lot of ways of special summoning Dark Magician during your opponent's turn, so being able to banish a card your opponent has with Circle every turn is obviously good, and that's the main form of disruption for Dark Magician. But everything else in Dark Magician just like isn't reliable or isn't an actual Dark Magician card. It's one of the reasons why you guys always see me run like Skill Drain in my Dark Magician deck, because it's a powerful floodgate against like combo decks. But outside of that, Dark Magician really only has, I guess, like Apprentice Illusion, which has to be used during the battle phase. Your opponent can already kill you or combo out by then, or something like Magician's Navigation, but that already has to be in the graveyard for you to get that spell and trap removal effect, or spell and trap negation effect, I should say. This card, number 1, stops spells, traps, and monster effects, which I love. So no matter what your opponent is throwing at you, you are going to be able to negate that. And then also, I like the fact that it kind of works with what Dark Magician already do. You're already going to be summoning Dark Magician during your opponent's turn as just the natural play style of Dark Magician. This is an excellent way to capitalize off using your circle. So maybe with Eternal Soul, you summon back a Dark Magician, you banish a card from your opponent's side of the field with Circle, and then whatever their next play is to try to, extend upon their play, you just go ahead and negate that card. Now, I'll be honest, I wish this card wasn't directly tied to Dark Magician Girl, where if you tribute Dark Magician, you have to summon a Dark Magician Girl from your graveyard or your hand, or vice versa, to get that negation. But this card is something that Dark Magicians have needed. They need more ways of reliably being able to disrupt the opponent, and the fact that this has Dark Magician in its name means that you can add it from Circle. It means you can add it from Rod, and I think that overall it's a solid card. Dark Magician also needed more ways of protecting the freaking Eternal Soul so that you can keep your combo up, you can keep your kind of soft lock, and basically so that you don't lose the game. This feels like a solid card. I don't really think you have to run multiples, considering that it is searchable from Rod and it is searchable from the Dark Magical Circle. I feel like you could run this as a one of, and considering now that all of these cards kind of work with Dark Magician Girl and they're all tied to Dark Magician Girl, I feel like probably running like 1 Dark Magician Girl and just praying to God that she doesn't get banished, I feel like it's a legitimate option, because it seems like running her opens up a lot more avenues for Dark Magician to basically be more successful. And honestly, I can't wait for these cards to come out. I think that one thing that I did miss is I kind of wish the fusion counted as Dark Magician on the field and in the graveyard. I don't know why it doesn't, because then it would work with Eternal Soul in Circle. I don't know, that's a little weird that they didn't do that. But overall, I am pleasantly surprised by these cards. Whatever you guys think of the new Dark Magician support, also what else would you like to see in this booster pack if it is going going to be based on the main protagonist, Yusei Fudo, Yasaku, Yuya Sakaki, all that. What would you like to see from those characters? Anyways, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.